and also you can be able to access our academy from the Norma application. So the Norma app is the super app, right? It's a huge super app that is encompassing all our ecosystem assets that we have. And I want to tell viewers that you should check out for Norma when we launch end of February, when we're in beta testing. We will have airdrops of Norma token on the Norma app. It's going to be happening there on the Norma application. So the moment we go live on beta testing, we want people to sign up for our beta testing end of this month, and you can start referring friends and making free Norma. Actually, you're going to be making one Norma per hour, one Norma per hour, one Norma per hour. So 24 Normas 24 numbers in a day, right? So if you're gonna do it, once we go up for beta testing, we ask our viewers and our community people who are following us to be able to download the application and start generating numbers on that particular application. So we really want to stimulate our community. We want to be able to grow our community, and of course, we are very passionate around what it is that we are building. So we thought of Norma app as a super app, one place where you can access all our ecosystem assets. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So where do you see the future of tokenization in Africa?
Yeah, so obviously, tokenization, this Buran, actually, people are saying this Buran is about tokenization, it's about real world assets tokenization. So obviously, we know it's booming in the West, it's going to boom in Africa. It's the future because, number one, the transparency and trust that tokenization brings into property transactions is a big value add, especially in a continent where we are mad with corruption, mad with selfish interest of our leaders. We know about community land. Community land is a big problem in Africa, and we believe that tokenization actually solves the issue of community land because community members can actually be direct partakers, and governance around governance that comes around tokenization and governance tokens then becomes a way for us to be able to cure some of the corruption issues that we've had in Africa. So obviously, we see this as a solution that is going to solve a lot of these problems, and we see uptake going up. So we've seen Zaire already have developing their own blockchain. Zaire already has its own blockchain. Zaire is already having a lot of its government services within the blockchain space. And we are seeing that more governments are going to be very amiable to this. Carbon credits is a big story right now. We know Uganda is currently developing its carbon credits trading exchange. Norma 2025 is actually going to tokenization of carbon credits. So obviously, and Africa is one of the least emitters of carbon in the world. So obviously, we're going to see a lot of countries wanting to trade in that particular market, and we see tokenization as a key driver for that particular market. So these are areas that we're going to likely to see Africa participate, and these are markets that we believe that are going to revolutionize how this is going to grow. So for me personally, as an expert in this space, I'm projecting an astronomical growth in the next 2 or 3 years around this particular space, especially with the regulations coming into play. We have seen Kenya now getting the digital assets regulations in place. South Africa has already done so. We have seen the banking institutions in Nigeria already opening up. Those are the big economies in Africa. The big economies in Africa already embracing. So we are likely to see a huge surge into this particular space, and a lot of people getting to participate, especially with that legal covering coming into play. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. That is quite educative. Now, from what I've picked from the last 30 minutes of our time, thank you so much actually for availing your time and giving us and tapping into your insights and your information, of course, and expertise. Thank you so much. So, from what I've collected, Norma token is basically a digital currency that has a strong foundation in terms of utility. From the tokenization process, there is reservation or preservation of property value. So property does not lose initial value. I don't know whether it's right to say at this point that Norma token is directly backed by existing assets, right? And there is a whole ecosystem that requires Norma token for you to enjoy any of the products, be it the financing, the exchanger, the marketplace for you to trade your assets with, and also the school, the academy that requires Norma token as the currency choice, right? So at this point, Mr. Gideon, would you mind giving our people a basic brief on why cryptocurrency right now, why the digital space right now, and why should an investor convert the investments, or rather redirect the investments into the digital space as we end today's session?
Thank you very much, Ms. Koi. So Norma token is a utility token, which has a lot of utilities around the Norma chain ecosystem. So obviously, you're looking at this utility token is the one that helps you access tokenized assets. This utility token is the one that helps you tokenize, pays for fees for tokenization fees. This utility token is the one that can help you access our training materials on Norma Academy for free. This token is actually the one that you're going to be using to pay rent every month. Pay rent every month. You're going to be paying rent using Norma token. So obviously it has a huge utility, and that means that it's an asset that is worth buying. So obviously, if you look at the global trends, if you look at Bitcoin right now is being considered the digital gold, right? So it's a digital gold to edge on inflation, and therefore we have seen the Bitcoin ETFs in the US. We have seen big players coming into play. BlackRock and the rest are now coming into play, and they're actually pumping a lot of liquidity into the crypto space. So we're likely to see a lot of stability around these particular assets. And one of the things that makes crypto become a very viable asset to own is because of the aspect of smart contracts. So we are seeing smart contracts coming into play, and we are seeing the aspect of transparency also coming into play. So if you look at our normal fiat currencies, which are controlled, which are centrally controlled, and therefore you get central banks are printing money, so they are susceptible to inflation and all these kind of things. These are things that you're not likely to see in the crypto space. So if you look at Bitcoin, its total supply is pegged at 21 million Bitcoins, right? And the minting is always becoming harder, especially with the halving and all this. So the transparency that comes with digital currency, the smart contracts are audited and are public. For example, the Norma token smart contract is audited and it's available publicly. You can actually check it on CoinMarketCap, and you can see our smart contract. You can see that all the audits are tick, green ticks, and this transparency, Norma token is not mintable, right? So we have 10 billion Normas available, and it's deflationary. It can always be banned. It's bannable, but not mintable. So this transparency around crypto is what makes it appealing for investors, because they can be able to project. There's some sense of certainty, which you don't find with the Kenya shilling, which you don't find with any other fiat currency, which is centralized, and it's susceptible to a lot of susceptible to central manipulation, right? So, for example, in Kenya, we have the idea of the Kenya shilling was being maintained at a particular level, and when the new government came in, they said it's going to be a free fall. It's been on a free fall, my friend. Yeah, so you can see these are things that actually affect global supply chain. They affect purchasing power. They affect all this. You can see countries like Angola are suffering on their currency being inflation on their current being devalued, right? So that they can be able to access global credit and global funding. So we see crypto as being a very safe haven. The transparency around it, the use of smart contracts to execute various aspects of operational aspects within the currencies themselves, then that makes them a very appealing investment to actually be able to make. And obviously, if you get into a project early, like for example, you get into the normal project early, we are likely to see a lot of buy pressure when the 10 billion tokens are now being supplied to the entire community. So there'll be a huge buy pressure, and of course, if you come in early, you're likely to benefit from the capital gains. But obviously, with time, then you're likely to see stability within that particular market. Yeah, because when the supply is out there, then of course it will be stable, because now it's within a good supply level, and obviously there will never be any other supply in that particular. So I believe the attributes of blockchain are the ones that make crypto become an appealing investment option for a lot of people. And we can see the big money now is getting into that particular space. We're getting JP Morgan, Chase, and BlackRock, and all these big companies now getting into the particular space. So big money is coming in, so retail money needs to follow suit. And I think Normal Projects presents a very good investment opportunity for anybody who is looking at being able to own assets into the future. If you want to own a property, if you want to own HAT, if you want to hold carbon credits, if you want to participate in these particular markets, then I can tell you that Norma token is the token for the future, is a token that you should be owning today. Because if you own it today, you stand a huge opportunity to reap huge benefits into the future. Not only owning the assets that matter to you, but also being able to participate in a market that is likely to give you exponential returns while this project continues to grow. And we would want to invite a lot of people to participate with us in building this community and growing this particular community. Thank you, Ms. Koi.
Thank you too. Thank you for your time. Now we are out of time actually, but that has been quite educative. I've enjoyed this conversation a lot, and I hope my audience as well has learned as much as they can. Moving forward, I hope everyone has a reason why they need to be part of the digital space, make virtual investments, follow in on online and digital space markets, what's going, what's booming. There's so many opportunities in our gadgets right now as we speak. And currencies have evolved to a point where they are in their own control. It's for you to be an early adopter and be able to participate in wealth creation in the digital space. Till next time, my name is Koi Morioki. Follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, Twitter Space. Sorry, X. Now it's X, right? So follow us on all our social media platforms for you to be more educated and to be on news and updated on a daily basis on what's going on. Till next time, remember that you need to be on the digital space.
Bye bye.